Niagara 124, your source for... Nope, it's a Tide ad. This week on Niagara 124, it's a Tide ad. Everything's a Tide ad. I'm sorry, everyone. You've all been bamboozled. We've been doing this for 8 seasons. 8 seasons of Tide. That's why we all look very good through the radio.
Yummy Tide.
All this and more on Tide. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing on this fabulous Tie-Day, February 9th, 2018? I'm Tide.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Joe, and these Tide Pods are so good.
Welcome to Niagara 124, sponsored by Tide.
There.
Edit that out.
Hashtag not actually
Edit
sponsored.
that out.
I'm not editing anything. Hashtag
Nothing.
not sponsored.
Sponsored by Tide.
Hashtag
not
don't put them
sponsored.
in your mouth.
Hashtag they picked the wrong person to tell you not to do that because I'm pretty sure Robert Gronkowski is putting a lot of
Tide Pods.
So yeah, there were a lot of Tide ads during the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
There
folks.
really weren't. There was only 4.
4?
There was only 4.
Yeah.
But because they had one in each quarter, you questioned every single advertisement.
I didn't see a lot of the good commercials because
I saw
I didn't
them all.
watch it. I didn't watch a lot.
You didn't watch it?
There was a lot of.
I watched like the mostly the second half.
The second half is all the bad commercials. Why would you do
Well,
that?
I mean, I watched the game.
I mean, they'll never be as bad as Ram trucks.
Okay, yeah, I got a rant on this. Who is the guy who had the bright idea to sell Ram trucks with Martin Luther King Jr.'s words?
And like random money shots of the car. It's
Yeah.
like, people hardworking. Service. Car.
Car.
Service. Literally the headlight of the car. Like, why? Why do we have a slow motion money shot of the headlight of the car?
And I will tell you, I would encourage you to buy a Ram truck.
Are we gonna get in trouble for that?
I don't think we will. They already got in trouble for it. I think we'll
We're
just
all
double down.
offended. The other commercials that were in the bottom included the Diet Coke ad.
Which Diet Coke ad?
Which one?
The awkward blonde woman dancing millennial style.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Twisted Mango. It was if you haven't seen it, look up Diet Coke Twisted Mango. It ranked like dead last because they're like, hey,
I mean, I don't rank the commercials.
Diet Coke created a bunch of new flavors in these cool, slim, hip millennial cans. You don't need to be louder. You're very loud in your headphones already.
I was
Be
just
loud.
making sure.
But yeah, so like they're trying to make it hip for millennials. So they used this really like awkward like
Weird.
woman thing awkwardly dancing. Like, oh, maybe I'm dancing now.
Well, I
Oh, I don't know. Mango knows. And it was really bad.
I haven't seen that commercial, but I have seen the new like Diet Coke, like the tall cans,
Yep.
like the
Yeah.
energy drink type cans. Those
Yeah.
actually look pretty nice. They have different flavors with
Yeah,
them.
I know that's what they were talking
Yeah.
about, but it was just like kind of dumb.
But the commercial, yeah.
Commercial was dumb.
It was so
a
weird.
commercial that was also iffy.
Yeah.
That did not was the Pepsi commercial, which like they really kind of pushed that. Oh man, it's gonna be Cindy Crawford from the 80s Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was in it for 2 seconds.
I didn't see the Pepsi.
The
commercial.
Pepsi commercial basically went like, it was like jumping through time, and it was like, this is the Pepsi your father drank, and his father drank before he met your grandmother.
The same the same like
Commercial all
the
at
same
once.
Pepsi. Your father drank the same
Yeah,
Pepsi
the
that you
exact
drank.
same glass, like the exact same, and like, but it jumped way too much, and they're like, and there's like way too many weird wink wink nudge nudge kind of creepy moments.
Yeah.
And like we all decided the announcer sounded like the guy that does Hallmark. Like on Hallmark. So he's like, this is the Pepsi that your father drank and his father drank before he met your grandmother. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is the Pepsi that this model drinks and his mother. Hi, Cindy. Like I was like, oh, cringe. Like you were not alive for that commercial, announcer. This is the Pepsi. This is the Pepsi that was on the moon. No, it's not. Well, this is Pepsi from Moonwalker. Show a video of Michael Jackson. No, don't, because you lit his hair on fire. Don't do it, Pepsi.
I liked the M&M commercial with Danny DeVito.
That was a good commercial.
That was funny, yeah.
Also,
I really liked the Australian tourist ad that I legitimately
Crocodile-
thought it was going to be
everyone-
a sequel to Crocodile
everyone
Dundee.
thought- they had released teaser trailers online, and then it was like, wait, this is an ad for Australia tourism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But it was we shouldn't be surprised that I wasn't surprised if Hollywood actually did that.
Yeah. The trailers are out for a bunch of new movies.
Bunch of new movies.
Jurassic World 2. Jurassic World 2. This time it's a
More T-Rex
Jurassical.
Jeff Goldblum's driving a Jeep.
Jeep.
That was fun.
Great.
But I don't understand. Like, and everyone's like, "Oh man, Jurassic World 2 looks so good." I'm like, "Oh no, they need to save all the dinosaurs from the island where all the volcanoes are gonna kill them." And then some of them break into the real world, and a genetically modified dinosaur that they custom built goes into the real world. They need to stop. Gee, it sounds like you took Jurassic World and combined it with Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah, it really does sound like
Really?
that.
Like,
yeah.
Well,
Stop.
but
And then there's Solo, a Star Wars story.
I didn't.
That man, whoever they
seen,
cast for Han Solo does not look like Harrison Ford.
No,
a young
and
Harrison
one of
Ford
the
at all.
arguments was there was a lot of people. There's an actor, one of the people that screen tested for it, and I can't remember who he is, but he actually looks exactly like young Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And he could play that character, and Disney was just like, "No, we want this guy," and we're like, "He doesn't look anything remotely like Harrison Ford." But I am excited that Childish Gambino is going to be our Lando with that fur coat.
Yeah.
With that fur coat, I was like, there we go.
Solo comes out next month.
Comes out in May.
Is it May?
May.
I thought it was March.
No, it's
so
May.
Let's hope it's better than the last Star Wars movie they put out.
I'm sorry, but
I still have.
Yeah, that was not Last Jedi.
I still haven't.
Last Jedi was an excellent.
No, it
movie.
was not.
I still
No, it
haven't
was
seen
not.
it. I gotta go see it.
You need to go
I
see
need to
it.
see
It had its good moments, but it was mostly really, really, really dumb.
Okay, did you actually see it, or did you watch a bunch of
I
reviews
watched
that told
it.
you that?
I actually watched the movie.
See, I can tell. Let me guess. You're one of those hardcore Star Wars nerds that doesn't realize that the original trilogy sucked. I don't know if you've ever watched every Star Wars movie in existence is kind of dumb.
They are.
Like they
But
really,
they're good.
I mean,
they're fun.
They're fun to watch, but they're really dumb. And when people are like, "Oh man, this is like," and it got overhyped, and it really got. And I'm
The
not gonna do
writing needs to be
spoilers.
sophisticated and complex, and we gotta have all these
And
different
guess what?
things.
And guess what? All the fans went nuts for all these crazy theories and stuff. And the director went, "Ha ha! You're all idiots!" and just everything you thought you was just like two giant middle fingers.
I still-
to the
I still-
audience.
But some of it doesn't make sense. Like, say for example,
I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet, but
Hey, Bobby hasn't seen the movie.
Bobby
so
hasn't
no
seen the
spoilers.
movie.
From what you said, I remember when we were talking about the trailer, how the trailer came out, and some friends of mine were talking about wow, they gave away everything in the trailer. I'm assuming they did.
They did.
Yeah,
No, they did not.
They did
I
not.
assumed it was a red herring right from the
They
Yeah, I
did not
assumed
even
that it was-
close.
I assume that they
What
edited it
is,
selectively.
what is weird with and what I liked about the Last Jedi, is that every time you think, oh, this could be a good place to stop the movie,
Yeah.
it keeps
going.
It starts a whole. It's not even like the movie start. They start a whole nother movie. There's 5 movies in this movie. You could crop it. like into 3 parts and it'd be 3 separate movies. And I'm surprised Disney didn't.
And that sometimes makes it suffer because sometimes it doesn't really make sense, and sometimes they have their ham-fisted political messages that they jam in the film.
Oh, come on.
Oh yes, you know it was that. It was that ham-fisted.
It wasn't that.
That's casino scene. It was
more
pretty ham-fisted.
Than literally. More ham-fisted than if you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Which everyone said was actually a direct quote from George W. Bush during the Iraq War.
Is Star Wars not a movie focused around like political opposition?
Yeah,
like,
the entire
yeah, but it doesn't have this
taking out
much ham-fisted SJW narrative that they like to jam in.
Yeah, it did. Watch
what, in the 70s?
Oh, yeah. The first one didn't because it... I don't know if you know the story of the original A New Hope. It was a terrible movie. George
W. Bush.
George W.
Jorge Lucas.
Jorge Lucas's wife and a couple other people came in and literally re-edited the movie and saved it and made it what it is now. Because it was horrible. Because Lucas does not know how to make a movie. He knows how to build a world, but he doesn't know how to make a movie.
Did they make it what it is now, or did George Lucas go back and add more?
Go back and add more CGI.
But the original one was like very much not edited by him, and like, and same thing. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Empire Strikes Back is such a good movie." If you watch Empire Strikes Back, it's a really boring movie. It's actually like everyone's like, "Oh, it's so good," and it's.
I mean, it's
even
it's
the climax. The climax is
interesting,
the twist,
and the twist is good. But like the middle of the movie is very much like, and we're on a side quest, and these guys are sitting in clouds, and there's some sort of weird will they, won't they plot going on, and it was like, I mean, honestly, that one's not good. And I'm sorry, any movie that has the word Jedi in it is naturally gonna kind of suck, because Return of the Jedi sucks. It's a horrible movie. And people are like, oh, it's such a good movie. Like, no. You want to know when it's good? When you have Jabba the Hutt sitting there going, Solo! Like, that is it. Like, anything with Jabba is good. And then afterwards, like, oh, okay, now we're done with Jabba. So now we're going to go, and there's going to be some teddy bears, which is I mean, thinly veiled references to several different wars. The fact that people with inferior weapons and inferior
the
army.
Ewoks?
Yeah, the Ewoks, which a lot of people say it's like reference to the like Native Americans versus like the conquesting like Americans and British.
Yeah, but that's
in reality, I would almost compare it to like the Viet Cong versus America and South Vietnam. You have an army with inferior weapons and that just know the land better and just decimate another force.
But you see that throughout history, and it could maybe, but it's not as blatant as an upfront as J.J. Abrams and like the whole Star Wars brigade has been.
J.J. Abrams did not do Last Jedi.
He did the casting, didn't he?
No, he did. Yeah, the same casting that was from The Force Awakens. It was not J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams produced it, but J.J. Abrams was not the director of the film.
But he still had his hand in.
Who directed Last Jedi?
Oh gosh, what's his name? And in fact, he had to come out because he's going to be in charge of, they're doing another trilogy unrelated to this. And Disney's angry at him because the reviews were so bad for Last Jedi. But it wasn't. Was it Ryan something? I think. Let me look it up.
What?
Ryan Johnson. And actually, the whole story is, and why everyone's mad, even J.J. Abrams is a little irritated with him. J.J. Abrams gave him free reign to do whatever he wanted with the story for this episode.
Yeah.
So he basically took everything J.J. Abrams set up and lit it on fire and was just like I'm out, mic drop, like burned it all to the ground, was like screw all y'all.
Didn't the director for 9 back out, and now J.J. Abrams is doing 9 as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So what they. Do you think they should have let him do all 3 movies?
Because honestly, Force Awakens was really kind of dumb. It was, and everyone's like, well, Force Awakens is a rehash of A New Hope. I'm like, well, it had to be because all you nerds were so lunatic-y over the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm like, and with the exception of the casino scene, which could have been done way better, and it could have been done way better, this movie took I honestly say
Or the stupid part with
Hey,
the battery. I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it for Bobby.
Here's what I
but-
will say about it. You know, there's a casino scene and all these things, and they're trying to, and there's like a lot of insert. Like, hey, what's this character doing? Hey, remember that character from that movie? Hey, let's see what they're like. It felt very much like a fan-made movie. You know when you go on YouTube and you watch those fan-made movies that are hilarious because there's a bunch of in-jokes? The movie was it was the funniest Star Wars movie ever. And I'm just gonna spoil one scene because it's unimportant to the plot, and it involves Poe Dameron. And remember how in the Force Awakens when Poe's like,
I haven't seen the Force Awakens
oh,
either.
come on, Bobby.
Listen, I'm watching.
I know
the
you're
movies
watching
with
it
Sam.
Renegade cut style.
I'm watching the movie. Well, it's not even that. It's I'm watching the movies with Sam, and we watch one movie every like 4 months, maybe. So it's like
So with the Force, in it, Poe Dameron's very much supposed to be basically the new Han Solo. He's supposed to be like the kind of roguey guy. And in the first movie, he opens like it's a very heavy movie in Force Awakens. And like he's like held at gunpoint. He just looks at Kylo Ren through the mask and goes, "Do I talk first? Do you talk first? Do I go? Do you? No." And it's like it's this kind of joke. So that gets turned. Everyone's character like that gets really kind of flanderized and turned up to 11 in The Last Jedi. He calls up General Hux. I mean, he's like, "Yeah, I'd like to speak to General Hux." And then General Hux is standing there because, you know, remember how, well, you've been seeing Force Awakens, General Hux is kind of a lunatic. He's like turned up to like 11 on the lunatic scale in this movie. He's like, "I am General Hux of the First Order and blah blah, and we are going to defeat you." Still waiting for General Hux. And then he goes, "Can you hear me? Patch through." He should be. We're patched through. "Can you hear me?" "Yep, I'll wait."
Yeah,
And then they go, and he goes back and forth. It's this. He's like, "What is he?" And it's like, "Sir, I believe he's messing with you." And it's like the movie actually opens with, "Sir, I believe he's messing with you," and he finally just goes, "Blow him out of the sky!" and tries to shoot him down. But it starts with like literally like a game
light
of
chuckle,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait. Still waiting on hold. General Hux. Yep, anytime you want to talk. Like it was like, there's even a scene like you think a spaceship's landing, and it's an iron. It's a robot ironing First Order uniforms. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very quirky, but it's very funny. And I like that because we haven't had a funny Star Wars movie in a long time that is just like ridiculously funny. And it came out with so many memes. Like Ben Swallow.
Yeah, I like Ben Swallow.
Or
Ben
the
Swallow's
sacred texts. The sacred text was pretty funny.
Or my personal favorite. It made sense in context. Where does that milk drinking scene make sense in context?
It doesn't. It's just, that was everything in this movie was fan service.
So, Solo movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're making way too many Star Wars movies. In fact, Star Wars toys are no longer selling.
Really?
Yeah, there's been a 47% decrease in action figure sales because they're oversaturating Star Wars again.
Can we talk about promotion of the movie?
Yeah.
Do you think this is the first like anything they've shown in the movie, and the movie comes out in
May?
2 months, 3 months?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you think it's a little late? They haven't really shown anything besides this?
They don't care.
They don't care?
I don't care.
Look, they're gonna. The movie got moved up.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be released. They were going to do December, and they're like, let's just move it up to May. Like, this thing was shot and edited in like 2 minutes. Like, at this point, I think Disney is doing what they do with Marvel, which is like, hey, we don't need to make one good Star Wars movie every couple of years. We just need to make a bunch of Star Wars movies, and eventually someone will like some of them.
Yeah.
And like they're saying, the Last Jedi like made a ton of money, like exploded in the box office, and then just like absolutely collapsed within like a week.
Yeah.
But it's because all the reviews came out and were like, all the public reviews came out and said this is a terrible movie. All the critic reviews came out and said this is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
And then there was the belief that like literally people were hacking And then Rotten Tomatoes is like, oh, no one can hack Rotten.
No one
you
can
can't.
hack Rotten
You have to have
Tomatoes.
you have to have a Facebook account to use Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, no one's gonna create a fake Facebook
Rotten
account.
Tomatoes.
It's
Rotten Tomatoes-
It's rigged.
Rotten Tomatoes got me angry
wait,
because
though.
because Rotten Tomatoes got me angry because they openly said that they were censoring bad opinions of the most recent Black Panther film, the most recent Marvel film. That really irked me because I
it's
think
not out
Rotten.
yet.
It's not even out yet, so how would anyone review it?
I mean, just like, wasn't it out? Because I heard
It
that
comes
they-
out
No,
next week.
it comes out next
Yeah,
week.
well, they said that they would censor opinions if there were any negative opinions that came out about the film from the public. Because they're pushing their...
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. And I would probably look into that. I highly doubt it's anyone that is critical of the film. I'm pretty sure if anyone is critical of the film because of race.
It's not because... It's because of, it would be over the quality of the film.
No,
You and I
there's
both know that they would
no
use it as context
way.
to censor negative
There
opinions
is
of the
no
film. You and
way.
I both know how these people do their business.
They're not
So,
gonna do that. They
Joe-
would never get away with it, Joe. How are they gonna regulate that?
They'd simply...
They
they'd
literally
simply-
allowed the public to derail The Last Jedi into like a 0% rating, and then denied that people had
Well-
gone in with fake accounts. And I read the reviews; they were all like, "It sucks. It's a prequel movie. It sucks. It's like no one writes a Rotten Tomato anything 600 consecutive. It sucks. It's stupid. It sucks. It's stupid.
Well-
Like clearly this is copy paste.
I was gonna go into talking about how Paddington 2 has become
A
the top
perfect yes!
100%.
I haven't seen it yet.
100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Paddington 2. I haven't seen the first Paddington. I guess they're both really great movies.
Apparently.
Okay, I want to see Paddington 2. I saw Paddington 1. Paddington 1 is a very weird movie. It's very British. It's
Really?
very obtuse. But there's something very heartwarming. But like these movies just fill you with glee and childlike wonder. I mean, I keep telling people, I'm like, if you haven't seen Paddington, like, just watch Paddington. Make yourself a marmalade sandwich and sit there and watch Paddington. He's so...
I've heard good things about it, yeah.
Have you heard about, like, people will say, like, who would win in a street fight between, like, Paddington and Winnie the Pooh? And everyone's like, well, Paddington's an actual bear. And then everyone goes, yeah, but I don't think Paddington could actually fight
Paddington
anyone.
would
He's just
maul Winnie the Pooh to death with his claws.
no, he wouldn't. He'd just sit there and go, hey, would you like a marmalade sandwich? I'll have, like, 300 of them in my bag. Paddington.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
just-
see... Yeah, well...
So
one of
then,
these
I mean,
days.
this is how we know. I mean, why Rotten Tomatoes doesn't have to skew anything. We know the best movie ever is Paddington.
Paddington 2.
So honestly, here's the deal.
IMDb would disagree
This
with
is where
you.
the Ewoks screwed up. I think George Lucas needs to go back and Return of the Jedi and just replace all of the Ewoks and the Yub Nub nonsense with just Paddingtons, a bunch of British Paddington bears.
With
Just
coats and
throwing
hats.
rocks on
With little
AT-ATs.
ponchos and just like marmalade sandwiches at the
AT-ATs.
And then they get blown up by an AT.
and so and they'd be like, oh, sorry. Would you like a marmalade? Like, instead of... That would actually... This is how we make The Last Jedi in 2018. Instead of just killing all of the bad stormtroopers, they win them over with marmalade sandwiches, and then they all celebrate together and celebrate their differences. And then, like, go and, like, oh, but there's more that unites us than what makes us different. And then the Emperor goes, oh my, I've been such a fool. And Vader is like, oh my, I've been such a fool.
Yeah, and they just start singing
and then
Kumbaya together.
And then Luke just kills them because he's a jerk.
Ha!
Omae wa mushinderu.
You are already dead.
Nani?
Nani?
Okay, moving on.
Moving
We
on.
had so much to talk about and we're already halfway
How
through
about
this
how about
nightmare.
that Elon Musk sent a car into space and had it live stream on YouTube.
It was
That was
playing
cool.
Bowie.
And it was playing Bowie,
But you know
yeah.
what? I really appreciate it because I was watching a video on his life, and so after I watched it, I caught it when they showed the screen.
Yeah.
On the touchscreen piece on the Tesla car,
Yep.
if you look inside, it says "Don't panic" on it, and that's reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Yeah.
Galaxy. So he's actually referencing it. But I mean, this is how cocky. I mean, I simultaneously can't stand Elon Musk and love Elon Musk because he's so cocky.
He's such a cocky nerd.
I'm going to first of all sell, like 20,000 flamethrowers for fun and make like $1 kajillion just for fun. And then I'm going to take a rocket and attach one of my very expensive electric cars to it with one of my spacesuits and just blast Bowie and just shoot it into space.
While live streaming it.
While live streaming it, like, yo.
Turns out that worked out pretty well, though.
Like, yeah.
A live stream.
And he landed the rockets back. I mean, he can reuse his rocket boosters.
Think about it like this though. You could watch a live stream of something happening out of the planet. That's pretty cool.
Those photos. Well,
Like,
I mean, you could never deal with the ISS.
I know, but like a
Yeah.
car just floating through space. Like,
know what it reminded me of, though? Do you remember Jimmy Neutron Happy Family Happy Hour
Yeah.
from Seinfeld Spitstain?
Okay,
So the guy he had made a video about like this skeleton that abducts people in his retro car and drives them into space until they turn into skeletons and then sends them to the skeleton planet. So when I saw that car, I just thought of that. I'm like, oh gosh, no, it's the car in space that comes to kidnap you and turn you into a skeleton. No. It was so bad.
Yeah,
it was so good.
I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, that was
looking
cool.
at it.
Hey, you know, that's good because it's a good progress. It's good progress for space exploration and all that, and you know, it's good stuff.
Got a Tesla playing Bowie, like
Yeah.
Bowie
Yeah.
played Tesla.
Bowie.
Really, Bobby?
That was the point. That was the point. That's why he did it.
I didn't realize that. I forgot about that. It was such a bad movie. Oh,
What movie?
The
The
Prestige.
Prestige.
I've never seen it.
There's two different movies that came out right around the same time that are exactly the same movie, basically, about
Yeah.
magicians. There's The Prestige, which everyone liked better, and then I can't remember what the other one's named, but the other one is actually better.
Was that the one with Nicolas Cage?
No.
I was about to say,
No.
you know, the
wait, you're talking
Sorcerer's Apprentice,
No.
where Nicolas Cage is just
Ghost
being a-
Rider. National Treasure 2.
Nick Cage, ladies and gentlemen, is
gotta
the
look up-
greatest actor working today.
That was like The Prestige, but it wasn't.
The sad thing is though.
I gotta see if Google can figure out that movie that was like
The
The
sad thing-
Illusionist.
The
It was The
Illusionist.
Illusionist. And the funny thing is, and
We
everyone
have a
kinda knows
visitor.
this.
Hey, home skillet.
Hey man! Oh!
Oh!
It was called The Illusionist, and they came out like within the same year, and everyone had decided The Prestige was better. I mean, it had Bowie, it had all the high quality. But The Prestige was a really dumb movie if you watch it.
I haven't seen
The
it.
I haven't seen it.
Illusionist is actually far more entertaining. But The Prestige came out and everyone's like, oh, The Prestige is better, but The Illusionist is way better. So, I mean, if you're going to go see a movie, don't watch Bowie play Tesla. That's just kind of weird.
That sounds like
It
it'd be
didn't
weird.
make sense.
Yeah, I mean,
And he
wasn't
wasn't-
Nikola Tesla Russian or?
He was Serbian.
Serbian.
And
We,
technically, he was Croatian, but it was
Croatian.
Serbian. But
We were talking about Nikola Tesla yesterday. He was in love with a bird, a pigeon.
he also believed in eugenics.
He was in love with a
Well,
pigeon.
but he also the accomplishments far outweighed the sort of wackadoo. He invented a death ray as well.
He had relations with a pigeon.
Yeah,
I don't think that's physically possible.
He had relations with a pigeon.
Is that
He-
physically possible?
Can we just go? Here's the fact that, and this is the argument I tend to bring in, because right now, I mean, Tesla is very hot. And if you look at anyone over historical time, you're going to find skeletons in their closet.
Oh, absolutely.
But
yeah.
we tend to villainize Thomas Edison.
The-
And he did a lot of bad things, but a lot of people did a lot of bad things. And
A lot of people did a lot of bad things.
Yeah,
Nico
nobody-
Santangelo, 20.
no, nobody's perfect. Yeah.
But here's the deal with I like Edison because as much as like, oh, Edison was a crook, Edison, kind of screwed over Tesla. Edison didn't necessarily, he didn't believe Tesla would do what he did, and he also didn't believe that Tesla's concept would work, and the cost to switch from DC, which he had already implemented, to AC would have cost, it almost bankrupted Westinghouse until Tesla ripped up his patent. And Tesla would not have ripped up that royalty patent had he been working for Edison. But Edison kind of screwed him. This is what set it off. But at the time, Edison firmly believed that AC was more dangerous than DC. Because guess what? AC is more dangerous than DC.
But it's also the thing that's allowed our modern world to.
It is. But do you ever notice, anytime
What-
you plug in something, you ever notice that it says DC converter?
No.
Okay, so you know those boxes that
Yeah.
are on old plugs?
Yeah.
That converts all your electricity from alternating current to direct current. Because if you just put alternating current into your phone would explode. It would destroy. I mean,
my phone. Well, some phones already do
theoretically
that.
explode. But that's one of the
Lol.
issues. Is alternating current is very. It's not as safe as direct current is a little bit safer because of the way the grounding works, and alternating current has a it has to do with the amp and the watts and the voltage and things, and certain you could have high of one but low of the other, and it won't kill you.
Yeah.
It'll just shock you.
I'm not an electrician, so I don't.
So
know
I
any of
can't
this.
really, But one of the things, same thing with Edison is Edison got in a war occurrence with Tesla because J.P. Morgan was looking at Edison and saying, "You better not lose this, or I'm pulling all your funding," and then screwed out Tesla by buying Westinghouse, and then screwed out Edison by buying Con Edison. J.P. Morgan was the bad guy here. He's the one that kind of screwed out the inventors. But this idea that, Tesla was, the perfect inventor, and, he created a lot of genius things. But he also believed in a lot of bad things, including something that would have had him killed. Eugenics.
Pigeons.
And, Bobby, are you familiar with eugenics?
No.
Okay.
Nazi ideology, basically.
Tesla actually came out on record and said that he believed that any fool that didn't believe in eugenics was, on the wrong side of history, and that by 2100, all of the, quote-unquote, crippled, genetically inferior individuals would be eliminated from this earth.
Yeah.
He wanted anyone that had a disability should not be allowed to reproduce. That was eugenics.
Yes.
Tesla believed in that.
But
he came out openly supporting that.
But he also
was also mentally unstable, which would have put him in the boat he was trying to get on.
The pigeon thing makes a little more sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's basically saying, put these people on a boat and sink it while he's standing on the boat.
But while that's terrible, that doesn't discount his accomplishments.
No, but it doesn't make him the greatest hero of all time.
See, Adolf
But
Hitler
nobody is.
made a lot of
Nobody-
great paintings.
but-
I would buy a Hitler painting.
I'm sure you would, Bobby. But nobody's perfect. If you look at name somebody who you think is perfect, and I can point out skeletons in their closet.
There's no one that's perfect, but I'm just saying, right now we've decided that Edison is the ultimate evil, and Tesla's the ultimate good, and it's not even
It's a little more complex.
It's way more complex, and Edison did bad things for the sake of business. Tesla did bad things for the sake of he was kind of nuts. Edison believed he was in the right and was doing things for business. And honestly, Edison's people were like, electricity is stupid. It's a parlor. This is goofy. Electricity is not the future. And then you have oil tycoons and stuff who are like, yeah, electricity is evil. It's gonna burn your house down. Use friendly, safe kerosene instead.
Kerosene, ladies and
Friendly
gentlemen.
kerosene.
That won't set your house on fire.
Friendly, safe kerosene. What else do we have to talk about? Because Bobby,
I got a nice
Let's
list
talk-
of stuff. We
wait,
talked about
yes,
Tesla
let's
and
go.
space.
Wait, I want to talk about something.
All right, let Joe do his thing real quick.
So, how about them Winter Olympics?
Ooh, started today.
Yes.
North Korea and South Korea
One
marched
Korea.
together into
Yeah.
one Korea.
It's not like they're
One
going to go
Korea.
back to,
One Korea.
goading each other as soon as the games are over.
We're one Korea now. Everything's fine, guys.
Yeah, North Korea isn't playing a political game now, aren't they?
I'm surprised one Buffalo should sponsor one Korea. That would be pretty coll.
That'd be great.
Well, I mean, what did you expect? I mean, you have people from Pyongyang coming to Pyeongchang. It's perfect.
Boom.
It's perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
I'm waiting for someone to accidentally say, on the news, say Pyongyang instead of Pyeongchang, because they've been having to say Pyongyang in the news for the last, kajillion years.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
It's gonna happen.
give me a number from 1 to 5. We'll pick our next topic. Here.
3.
3.
That's going to be a 2.
All right. So, well, I
We
mean,
picked 3.
What? I thought we were both picking.
All right, let me get this here. So, I saw this on Reddit. All these are from Reddit because Reddit's the only place I get my information. But supposedly, Best Buy stores are going to be stopping their sale of physical CDs.
Yep.
Yep,
How do you
I
feel
heard
about
about that.
Because I know you like to
So,
buy CDs.
I don't buy them from Best Buy, and Best Buy
Yeah.
cut back their CD stock anyway. But basically what happened, so Best Buy's like, yep, we're not going to sell CDs anymore because they just sit on the shelves, And Target's basically
moving towards that.
They're actually threatening the music
Yeah.
industry. They're saying if the music industry won't buy back the records that don't sell, then we're just gonna stop carrying CDs. And this could be the death of CDs, which kind of hurts because it's like, oh man, vinyl's in. Even for cassette tapes are back in.
Yes.
Like with the dank vaporwave and mixtape people.
Does anybody know how to convert a cassette to a digital file or a CD? I need to know that.
You get a converter.
I need to get my hands on one of those.
Or you just get a cable and you get a cassette player with an out. You plug it into the input audio jack on your computer, and you use Audacity to record it.
Okay,
Take it into files.
Take it. I gotta do that.
Like,
I got a cassette bootleg that I probably gotta turn into a digital file.
Mind-numbingly simple.
Bootleg. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Physical media has always just been meh.
Well, since the rise
problem
of
is
technology.
Digital media, and they've said this, as a matter of fact, a lot of digital... We talked about this last year, Bobby. Remember when I said, they said, get everything on hard copy because eventually, just because of obsolescence. I mean, the best thing to put something on, you need some... Even discs are bad because they get scratched, you've corrupted the thing. You almost need something analog. Video is going to be very hard to do because it's very hard to have something... I mean, most old files are kept on, like, old-school reel-to-reel tape because that was the highest quality. That was broadcast tape, and you still see that every now and again. You'll find broadcast tape, which can last a long time if held properly. VHS tapes, which suck, can actually last if you... it's just every time you try to copy them, they degrade one level. But what's interesting about like tape, have you ever seen, there's a video of New York City in the 1990s that was done on high definition tape. Because back in the 90s, before the advent of digital creation, basically they had the equivalent of what would be like a 1080p tape. Because it was a high quality, and that's kind of not correct because tape is an analog source and it doesn't convert to digital pixels, but it's very... Like, you look at this and you would not think this footage was filmed on a tape in the 90s. You'd think it was filmed today, except for the fact that the World Trade Center's in it, and then...
that explains it.
Your first clue. We were talking in my advertising class on how to make some of the bad commercials, like the Ram truck commercial, the Coca-Cola commercial, better. And someone in their suggestion... And I was writing like how to make them worse in my notebook, and in my notebook I had written, let's make the Pepsi one for every generation worse. Let's have Pepsi, but with 9/11. And I'm just like, that's how you just offend everyone. And this kid over here is like, I think the Coke ad should be more like modern and stop focusing, or no, the Pepsi ad should focus on a more modern audience instead of generational. Show how far we come. Should be like Lower Manhattan. You have, the World Trade Center in it, the new one, the Freedom Tower in it. Freedom Tower. And I just looked over because my friend had looked at me when I wrote the 9/11 thing, and they're just like, you're a horrible person. And they're like, you should have the thing. I'm like, how is that not offensive? You're selling Pepsi with the World Trade Center?
I mean, it's not any worse than selling trucks with Martin Luther King.
I mean...
Or selling M&Ms with Danny DeVito getting hit by a bus.
We were trying to come out with, like, the infinitely worse, and we tried to combine, like, the Pepsi ad with the Coke ad with the Dodge truck ad, and we just kept going back to, like, just add, like, every horrible thing you can think of, just keep piling it on. And, like, we came up with some pretty horrible ads.
Just show, like, drink Pepsi, unedited 9/11 footage.
Drink Pepsi.
Well, we said it should just be Pepsi through every horrible... Like, Pepsi at, Pearl Harbor. Pepsi at the JFK assassination.
Just seeing a can of Pepsi with, like, that sunglass meme just doing this as JFK's getting shot.
And, like, I mean, honestly, we're just trying to make commercials that are so offensive that you're just, like... and you just know it's offensive. So it's just like, yep.
I want to see what you think about this then, because, advertising and marketing and stuff. So, did you hear about the Doritos for women as well?
And then Doritos is fun. We had to have Doritos for women. They're called
Doritos.
Oh.
So, I don't know, Doritos came out and said, oh yeah, we want to make crisp for women. They're less messy.
It was like a female CEO.
Yeah, a female CEO.
And she's like, Well, they're not as cheesy because and they're not as crunchy.
They're less messy. They're less crunchy. Like, I want those Doritos. What are you talking about? Like,
What's really funny is that we want those Doritos, and like my mother's like, girl, like I've seen women like chomping on like all the health nuts, eating carrots and celery, the loudest food on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if they make Doritos that are less crunchy, don't call them Lady Doritos. Call them like I'm at work and I don't want people catching me eating Doritos.
Or like I don't want
Sneaky
cheese on my
Doritos.
fingers and
Sneakerito.
I don't want cheese on my fingers and touching everything.
Sneakeritos.
Sneakeritos. It's when you eat your sneakers. It's a Tide ad because it's so clean.
Just throwing nacho cheese on a sneaker.
So they have no like dye to stain your hands. Obviously, it was a Tide ad.
Wait, what?
Obviously, Lady Doritos is just a Tide commercial.
So are Tide Pods the equivalent of Lady Doritos because they don't stain your hands?
Okay, so here's my conspiracy. I had a conspiracy theory come out about Tide Pods because we know that Tide had to buy this spot way before Tide Pods became, nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear Tide Pods was started by Tide as a conspiracy to prime you to think of Tide.
I wouldn't put it above them.
But the other thing I think is, like, there's now lawmakers that are like, we need to make laundry detergent pods look less appetizing for. I'm like, these aren't children eating them anymore. They're teenagers. It doesn't matter if you make them look like dog turds. They're gonna eat them because it's do it for the vine too.
The biggest
It's a meme, you
The biggest
idiots.
thing like before this got really big was that like the way the Tide Pods looked, like colorful and like squishy, like it's like, oh, it'll probably feel really good to chew,
Yeah.
like it was like a more a stimulation thing than I want to eat Tide Pods and die.
Tide Pod challenge.
Like,
I mean, all these kids have to do what Logan Paul tells them to do.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
On the greatest transition in history.
I want to talk about this. Why does YouTube keep giving this idiot a break?
Logan Paul. Because he makes them a quadrillion dollars.
I know. For us, what did he do this time?
So here's the deal. First, we know that Logan Paul, back in
just a couple weeks ago,
couple weeks ago,
basically, released a video of him in the Japanese suicide forest
with a dead corpse.
Person who had committed suicide, and instead of editing the video and not showing it, he uploaded it online and received so much flack that he had to drop off the face of the earth for 2 weeks.
But somehow more subscribers.
And somehow he got more subscribers because the YouTube algorithm's broken, and it encourages if the news links to you, you get more views. And YouTube's like, well, we're demonetizing that video. I was like, ooh. So he's like, okay, I'm coming back. And everyone's like, really? And he's like, I've changed. And his first video has him using a taser on dead rats. So now YouTube is temporarily.
They're suspending his ad revenue.
Suspending his
temporarily.
Ad revenue. Very temporarily.
Not for permanent.
His
father, the father of the Pauls, also said he's going to try to fight an MMA fighter who basically bashed Logan Paul during an MMA match.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
That's going to be great. I would love.
I'll take you on, mate. Yeah, okay. Boop.
Punch.
And he's dead.
I just want to say this. YouTube is so dumb lately. I mean, this guy does that, no problem. He'll probably end up making, the money back. I know smaller creators who just express like their personal opinions or like stuff like that. They basically are almost get their channel deleted for expressing views that YouTube doesn't like.
Don't you remember? It's not about the money. It's totally about the money.
Yeah, YouTube is really bad with their monetization.
And literally, they'll shut down other channels because those channels aren't making them a cajillion dollars.
Exactly.
The Pauls make them a cajillion dollars.
Which is why I hear that there's these alternative platforms now springing up.
There's been a lot.
There's always been alternative platforms.
But YouTube's the biggest one because of the monetization.
Twitch is now allowing you to.
Yeah, but Twitch has
been good for a while.
Pretty good
it's
starting to fall
with.
apart again.
Yeah.
Now
are we gonna have to run to Vimeo now or
Daily Motion?
No, Twitch is a really good streaming platform.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about Twitch, well, maybe a few things. It has a 30-second delay that you can't make any shorter. So I don't know. There's another platform called Mixer that you can stream on, and it has like a 1 second delay, which is a lot better for stuff like that. And Also, chat can become a problem a lot of the times.
Always.
If it's not moderated.
Yeah.
I love me some good insane chat. Except when it gets a little too insane.
But Twitch has generally been pretty okay. They have a lot of IRL streamers on there. Just
They got a guy who I watch on YouTube. He Twitches on occasion. Short Fat Otaku. You ever watched him?
no.
Oh, he's great. Short Fat Otaku. He's great. And he does gaming stuff and he does the occasional political stuff. He's really good.
Yeah, Twitch is good.
Gaming and politics. That's a good combo.
Gaming and politics. Civ 5, Civilization 6.
I was about to say I was going to make
Oh,
a comment, but what about Civ?
Oh no, I was just it's gaming and politics.
Oh yeah,
combined.
well, yeah.
Civ this expansion for Civ 6 came out today, I think, or yesterday. I don't
What does
know.
the expansion include?
I don't know. I haven't played a lot of Civ 6.
Well, Civ
I
is
have
good.
Civ 5.
Civilization's a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a
Nuclear Gandhi.
Yeah.
yes. I always play as Nuclear Gandhi.
Well,
Nuclear Gandhi for life.
The problem with Civ 6 right now is that Civ 5 is a lot cheaper. It has more content than Civ 6
yeah,
because
yeah.
Civ 6 launched and it doesn't have expansions yet, so it's just got the base game stuff, which doesn't include stuff that was already in Civ 5. So people aren't buying Civ 6 right
yeah,
now.
so they gotta work on adding stuff.
Until the expansions come out, Civ 6 will probably be less popular than Civ 5.
yeah, that's
But
why
the same thing that's happened with Civ 4.
I
when
have Civ
came out.
5. Yeah, I have Civ 5. That's why I got it. It's awesome.
It's a really great strategy game.
Oh,
for
yeah,
people
that-
who like politics
If
and
you-
government and
If you
all
like
that
politics
stuff.
and military conflict, you ever played Hearts of Iron?
I haven't played Hearts of
Hearts
Iron.
of Iron is great. Hearts of Iron 4 came out 2016. It's
I know.
phenomenal.
I know a lot of the Paradox games are a lot more complex than
Oh
Civ.
yeah,
They're,
it's
deep
really
strategy
with like
games.
Hearts of Iron. It's really deep because you have 3 political ideologies that can vie in any country you pick, and you got military spending and where to put your military. By the way, it is hilarious sometimes to see the weird governments that pop up when you pick a country. I've played as fascist Russia. I've played as communist America. I've played.
Well, we're not that far off. honestly.
No, that's what makes it a little funny. It's great. Hearts of Iron's great. I've conquered the world as Canada.
Well, that's not hard either. To be honest.
yeah, Canada's
That's
Canada's
they're
good.
going to conquer. Everything is going to go wrong, and everyone's going to be like, "But Canada is so nice," and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, Canada," and they're going to be like,
And then
Oh.
Justin Trudeau becomes the dictator he's always wanted to be.
"He doesn't want to be a dictator."
Well, he's a kind of an ideal. You and I both know I don't like Trudeau.
Yeah,
I don't think he's a
Actually,
dictator.
moving
I don't
on,
think he's
Bobby,
a
what's your
dictator,
next
but I think
topic?
he's a
Well, I
fool.
actually
What's
saw
your next
something about
topic?
Trudeau on Reddit.
Tell me.
He was getting upset with Facebook for their spread of fake news or something. It was a headline on Reddit. I didn't really read too much into it, but
Yeah, Trudeau gets mad at a lot of things he shouldn't get mad at, or does stupid things, like saying
he
people
hugged-
kind instead of mankind. He really cast.
But he hugged Gary the unicorn, so it all works.
Gary
out.
Oh, that makes it. Yeah, that makes everything
Yeah,
better.
He hugged Gary the unicorn.
Never mind how regressive
Well,
he is.
All that matters is that he hugged Gary the unicorn.
while we're on the topic of games, just really quick, I want to get this out. There's a D23 in Japan starts tomorrow, which is a big Disney event.
Yeah.
Oh, D23. I thought that was like a
yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons event.
So they're gonna be having a Kingdom Hearts event there, and it's tomorrow morning at 2 a.m.
Are you planning to fly to Japan, Bobby?
I'm planning on paying very
stream.
close attention. It's not being live streamed, which is the worst thing about it. But okay, all right. No, if you hear me screaming at 3 a.m., it's because of that.
So if I hear screaming from miles away, I'll just wake up.
Yeah,
it's
that.
literally
Bobby.
it's literally that
Bobby.
scene.
They've been hyping this up, so I'm really excited.
It's
because
literally the scene from Star Trek 2. He just yells, "Kingdom Hearts!
Kingdom Hearts 3. I've been waiting for. I've been waiting
Yeah,
since
for 800 years.
Since 2 came out, but they've had other games since then. But it's been it was
358 over 2.
this was announced. This was
man.
announced in 2013. So
Yeah, this has been
just punch me in the face. It's coming out this year. They already said so.
about
I'm
time.
gonna
So
cry.
what's your next thing?
Oh, yeah, I
Talk
put my
about?
phone away.
Why
So,
are you doing that, Bobby?
So we got
Bobby,
2 more
you're
things.
our man.
We got McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts. So pick.
Dunkin' Donuts is getting rid of styrofoam cups.
Dunkin' Donuts is
Why?
getting rid of styrofoam cups by 2020.
Because they're bad for the environment.
I mean, yeah, but what are
So
they
they're
gonna
gonna-
put in now?
So I don't-
Paper cups.
paper
like
cups?
everyone else.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's not really a controversial thing. It makes a lot of
roll
sense.
up the Dunkin' Donuts rim to win.
Roll the win.
Trademark.
Roll up the rim to win is back at Tim Hortons.
Yeah, has anybody won anything from that?
I
yet?
haven't even bought a single
I
copy.
have
Because
not
they
won.
don't have any of the numbers up yet. So like
Nope,
I've bought in like 3.
Because this isn't even a real Tim Hortons.
Technically.
Well, hey,
Technically.
It's a fake Timmy Ho's.
it's not bad. They got breakfast sandwiches.
They have the good-
I've only recently started eating breakfast sandwiches from Tim Hortons,
Aren't
but
they all
they're
good? They're
now
good.
one of my favorite things.
I just get like a bagel. I just get like a bagel with cream cheese. That's
I get nothing. I wake up in the morning, I brew my own coffee,
Yeah.
I make my own omelet.
But that's too hard.
Not if you're a professional like me. Or I make myself some cereal.
I make cereal too. So what about what was it, McDonald's?
I just got one more thing to talk about from McDonald's. So I'm just gonna show you this, and you can look for it. You can look at it and form your own opinion. on it
Bobby
here.
is
So
showing
it's,
us something from McDonald's.
So you can now win a diamond encrusted Big Mac
yes,
ring.
the Big Mac ring.
At
You have
McDonald's.
to write a wedding burger-based poem
oh my
on Twitter.
You can win a diamond
my
encrusted Big Mac ring.
Oh my
I'm gonna win
God.
this ring.
Are you gonna go write a poem and
no.
hashtag it? Do it, Bobby.
No.
Roses
Do
are
it.
red.
You can
Violets
win
are
it.
blue. I want
win
that
this
Big
ring,
Mac ring,
And I'm gonna
so
sell
do
it
you.
for $10,000 because that's how much it's valued at.
Okay.
Wow.
I'd just be like, hey, Diamond Chris, Big Mac ring. Like, my poems just be like, Big Mac. Good.
Can it be like a
Big Mac good.
Can it be like a freestyle poem? Like, the Big Mac launches itself into your mouth and you feel...
It's supposed to be more of a love poem that
Oh.
makes puns about Big Mac.
Oh.
Well, they've got the Mac Jr. and the Grand Mac back for a while, right?
Ay, that's so dumb.
I never tried
That
either.
is so stupid.
Almost as dumb as when they got rid of... Is the McRib dead again?
They
They
have it on
that
and
is
off.
a very
Yeah, it's-
seasonal item.
That is a very
Yeah.
seasonal... They keep bringing it back.
Remember when we used to have fake McRib at school?
Fake. I remember
Fake
fake
McRib.
That was,
It
I mean,
uh,
how can you possibly get worse than
Listen,
McRib?
I remember
Fake
McRib. I remember the slop on the plate, like some
Yeah.
kind of gravy
Yeah.
mush.
At least you guys didn't have as bad as I did. We didn't have, like, pizza. We just had cardboard.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
ours was cardboard.
Actually, we were not allowed to have any sort of white bread, so everything had to be wheat based
Oh,
Oh.
because of Michelle Obama.
Obama!
And do you remember the time that Aaron just put one piece of like little canned fruit on his?
what?
Okay, so you had to have fruit on your tray no matter what, even if
Yeah,
you weren't gonna eat
yeah.
it, which is why it was always in the garbage can because you know
Yeah.
Michelle Obama mandated you had to have fruit on your tray, otherwise you couldn't leave, so it just went in the trash. It was
Yeah.
just a waste of food.
Listen.
But he
I
put-
would have. Now I would eat that fruit. Like,
Yeah.
come on, give me
I
the
always,
fruit.
I always grabbed an
But
apple.
a kid ain't gonna...
But he would. This is high school, and you know they had the scoopable canned fruit, that terrible canned fruit.
Yeah.
He scooped one single piece of like pineapple this big and put it on his tray because he thought it would be funny, and the lunch lady went off on him, like started screaming at him. Like it's psychopaths like you that are gonna get me fired and blah blah. I'm
Oh my
like,
gosh.
oh, it was a joke. It was a joke.
The lunch lady never screamed at me.
It just
No.
goes to show we've had such a drastic loss of humor in this
I
country.
always paid, and it was like I was always the person that paid an exact change. to-
Remember how also you could get pretty much chips and cheese every day
Yeah,
for
it was
lunch?
like, hey,
Wow,
you
that
can
was
get whatever-
healthy.
You can get
right?
any healthy item, or you could get freaking nachos.
That was
I got nachos
great.
like almost every day. That's one of the
With
reasons
that
I'm
sa-
so
with
all the
unhealthy.
nachos and all
with
the
that
cookies.
canned salt beef on the side.
Oh my god.
Oh, did they have
Gosh.
cookies at your
Heck.
high school as well, or like?
Oh, you could
cookies?
go buy snacks, and then they banned snacks for a while, and then they brought them back.
We had
Yeah.
cookies at mine.
We had the gross slushy water machine.
That was
uh,
horrible.
You guys
was
had.
apple
You guys
juice.
at least
It was
had a
apple
slushy
juice
machine.
with bad syrup put in it. It was terrible.
At least you guys had one. We didn't have one at mine.
It was probably never cleaned. It was
No,
probably
no,
really
it-
gross.
Everything that was bad.
I keep forgetting.
Those
Did you?
lunches were pretty bad.
Yeah. I think most
Except
people's.
the buffalo chicken pizza was acceptable.
That was okay. Yeah, it was good.
I think most people's school lunches were terrible.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, are public school lunches?
I
as bad
went
as
to a
private
public
lunches?
school.
You went to a public
They are
school?
not as bad. They are bad, but there's more choice.
Yeah, public
We have
school had
options.
more
You had
choice. Yeah.
options. We didn't have options.
Well, we had nachos. We had
With
main.
nachos, the main, you could get a jelly,
Peanut butter and jelly, yeah.
or a tuna sandwich, or an egg salad sandwich.
Egg salad was
sometimes.
okay. Yeah.
And I mean that was or a salad.
That's basically the galley mart over
That's
here.
it. I mean it was, except it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Was cheaper though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, was it cheap? I mean, $6 for
cheaper.
a salad? Are you guys insane?
If you want to eat healthy, you gotta pay a premium.
Hey man, you want a turkey sandwich on Wonder Bread? $6, man. Like what the?
What?
I
There
miss-
better be something in that sandwich if you're really gonna charge me that money.
I liked. Remember back when you had to pre-order your lunch?
Yeah,
And they put it on the
yeah.
board,
Mhm.
and then they got rid of that. So originally I had ordered my tuna on wheat. And then, because they got rid of the order, they'd only make so many tuna sandwiches. So it would always be gone.
Yeah.
And I would be like, this is dumb.
Can we talk about something else real quick?
Yes.
Facebook had their Friend Awards thing this week. Did anybody else see the Friend Awards on Facebook?
Oh,
You
yeah.
got like
that
a little
was
video.
I
really
did not.
dumb. Apparently,
You've posted on my wall for my birthday 15 times? How long have you known me?
okay, let's see. I have been friends with you on Facebook probably since 2010.
That's
That's
like
8 years. And I've somehow posted how many times?
15?
Yeah.
15 times.
Yeah.
It's like happy 8th birthday.
Happy 8th birthday, Bobby. I went back to the future. I'm like, went into the past and was like, Bobby, you don't know me yet, but happy birthday. You don't even have a Facebook yet.
Yeah, Facebook wasn't even.
You
I
have
don't
to know in the future, invest in something called Bitcoin.
Listen, if I was of any state of mind to invest in Bitcoin when it launched, I would have put so much money
So
into
I don't
Bitcoin.
know if has anyone been watching Wall Street?
I haven't.
It dipped a bit.
Yeah,
a
it's-
bit.
Yeah.
So everyone said, and this is the thing, because everyone looked at, I was going to invest, but then
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's
Well,
gonna-
I would never. Like,
and I wasn't going
wouldn't
to
do
invest because
Yeah.
it kept rising.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh crap. And so suddenly, out of nowhere, it dropped 1,000 points.
Yeah.
The worst in history. And everyone's like, oh my, that's not good. And then it started correcting back up. And then it dropped another 1,000 points.
Yeah.
So it is just, and it's called a correction. Basically,
Ooh.
sorry. Basically, as they said was going to happen, they said, all this stock doesn't make any sense. And the second that the Fed decides to hike interest rates, this is going to collapse. And it basically just went.
Well, I saw cryptocurrency was starting to like a lot of stuff going on with cryptocurrency and like the mining and all that. Like a lot of miners are starting to sell their graphics cards that they bought. So like now the graphics card market is kind of like going all over the place. Like
Everything's going to.
Yeah.
Honestly, the cyber currency market feels like it's going to kind of collapse.
Yeah.
Because it's only valuable. Money is only valuable because people say it's valuable, and there's no real entity. It's not like there's a government that can back up a piece of paper and say this counts as something, and other people are like, yeah, this definitely counts as something. Which, fun fact, the U.S. dollar was falling, and that's why the Canadian dollar went up but the U.S. dollar's strengthening back up again. And if they hike interest rates, this is going to be bad because we rely on that Canadian dollar, and we need a weak American dollar.
we rely on Canada.
We rely on a weak American dollar.
We rely
which is
on
so
Canada.
We rely
counterintuitive.
on Canada.
I'm moving to Canada.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
Let me
Listen.
just pull out my $5 Canadian, the only Canadian money I have on me.
Made out of plastic.
I've said this. I've said
Yeah,
this
look
before.
At this. This is you folks.
Oh, you got
can't
Canadian
see.
money?
Yeah, this is a U.S. dollar. This is a Canadian. Canadian is made out of this weird plasticky thing.
Do you
That
have
is
a
harder
Do you have
to
a laser
copy,
pointer?
I do not have a laser
If
pointer.
you
Do
shine
have
it
a laser
through the
pointer?
plastic part, at least I saw this online. If you shine
It's
it
not a laser pointer, it
through,
needs to be distinct.
if you shine it through, it shows the value of the currency like through, like the laser pointer.
Oh,
I saw a picture of it. It might not be on that. It might be
Yeah,
on
it's
newer.
probably.
It might be on newer
It might
money.
be on newer stuff, but I'm currently holding a Canadian 5
Yeah.
for those of you at home. Yeah, I picked
Money.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So,
I'm moving to Toronto to become Scott Pilgrim.
this up. Cool.
you are his age in the movie.
just
Not in the book, though.
No.
Well, but don't you need to now find some?
Your gay roommate, and then you
Gay
got
roommate, yeah. Oh,
And
then find a girl, and you gotta fight her
You
exes.
gotta find way too many girls.
Yeah.
fight exes. Are we going off the
We've already
movie or
got
the
NB
comic?
covered.
We're going off the both.
You also, I don't think
And
you
you
can
need
play
to-
bass. I don't think you can play.
Yeah,
bass.
and you
Yeah.
didn't date a drummer in high school.
Nah.
So,
No,
yeah,
it's too
sorry.
late. Well,
Too
it's
late.
never. It's not
You
too late.
failed.
It's never too late.
failed.
I
You
mean,
fail.
I failed. All right.
Didn't date a ginger drummer in high school.
Honest Ed's has been demolished.
What?
They broke down. Like they removed. You remember like Honest Ed's, or was that the name of the store? Then remember in the book, is it called Honest Ed's?
I can't remember.
There's like a. It's just like a department store,
Oh.
and they like fight outside of it or next to it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they demolished that actual building. Like it's not there anymore.
Oh man.
Aw.
It was a few years ago, I think.
That's sad.
By the way,
Could
for
have done it in front of good old Sears. They're not going anywhere.
By the way, for those of you confused about what we're talking about, go see Scott Pilgrim
No,
versus
read the
World.
book.
Read the
See,
comic.
the movie's decent.
Read the
comic.
books. Read the books, then
Remember
watch the
you
movie.
saw the movie and you're like, oh my gosh, the movie's so good. And then
Yeah,
you got
and then
the
I
comics
got
and,
the
like,
books.
lost your mind.
The books are so good.
They really
Okay, read the book and see the movie.
The
All right.
books are just-
Well, I think we're done. It isn't unless anybody else
I
has
have to
anything
go-
talk about.
Nope.
Do things. I have to
Time
get a
go.
haircut.
So for Ty Dad. I'm Nico.
I'm Tom Brady's lonely life.
And I am a Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.